YouTube, how you doing? Murph here, bringing you another product review. Today's review is going to be on the Redragon K552. This is a TKL keyboard that utilizes Automu switches. In this case, it comes with their blue switches. And this is a really unique keyboard because it's a TKL mechanical keyboard for $35. This is probably the cheapest keyboard I've reviewed on this channel. And frankly, I wasn't really sure what to expect when I received it, but I have to say I'm actually pleasantly surprised. Keep in mind throughout this review, this is not going to compare to something like the Razer Huntsman Tournament Edition. This is not going to compare to a Ducky 1-2 TKL. This is not designed to compete with $100+ keyboards. So keep in mind, when I say something about this keyboard, this is the definition of a budget keyboard. $35, TKL, LED backlit, mechanical, Automu blue switches. So just kind of talking about the design and construction for a moment. This is a pretty heavy keyboard, much heavier than I was expecting. And that's because of the dense plastic around the bottom and the outside. But it also comes from the metallic base plate that's on here. I'm assuming it's aluminum. I couldn't really find what the metal is. It feels a little heavier than aluminum actually, but I'm gonna assume it's aluminum base plate. So that's gonna add to the rigidity, the durability, and it also gives it that heaviness, that heft to sit in one spot and not really move too much, which is a plus as well. As far as build quality, it is rigid and there's no squeaking or anything like that coming from this keyboard. There's no bend, no flex whatsoever. Out of a $35 keyboard, that's pretty impressive. I'm not gonna get too much into the Automu blue switches. Everybody has their favorite switch type. Some people like them, some people don't. Some people prefer cherry, some people prefer Razer switches. It really doesn't matter at the end of the day. If you've used Automu switches before, you know what to expect. If not, these are clearly not your typical cherry MX switch, but they do a good enough job for a mechanical gaming keyboard. They're certainly not bad. One negative thing is they are typically pretty loud, and this keyboard is definitely loud. I'll show you that in a moment with the typing test. But as far as the actual feel of the switches, they're not bad at all. Now this keyboard is plug and play. There's no firmware or software or anything like that. You just plug it in, your computer will recognize it, and you're good to go. You can see here that it is backlit, but this particular keyboard only comes in red. So there's no switching up the colors here. It's not full RGB, but the red that is on here is very bright and it looks really good. The keycaps themselves feel pretty nice. They definitely are on the cheaper side. I worry about long term if they'll wear down, especially on the more used keys. But for the short and midterm, I think they'll hold up just fine. One complaint I have is I'm not a fan of the way the letters and the numbers look. They went for a little bit of an edgier design here, and it looks a little cluttered, and they just don't look that crisp, especially certain letters like Q, R, O, B. I don't like the spacing. D. I don't like the spacing and stuff they did with those. That's again more of a personal preference thing, but especially if you're not a proficient typer, it just kind of looks confusing, maybe, I guess is a good way to put it. But again, perspective here, $35 keyboard. Super rigid, nice backlit keys, plug and play, halfway decent switches, so it is what it is. In the box, you're gonna get a USB cable, a small instruction manual to kind of walk you through everything as far as switching the color patterns and stuff like that. And you're also gonna get a key removal tool. Now, just to show you a few of these color patterns real quick and how to change them. Now to switch the backlight modes, it's pretty easy. All you're gonna do is hold FN and hit INS, and that kind of cycles through all of the different color modes. Here you've got steady on. This is a tracking mode, which a lot of people refer to as reactive mode is typically what it's called. This is breathing mode. This is wave, minimizing, and snake. I'll get this back to always on. So it's real easy to cycle through those modes. Again, you can't select your color. This is always gonna be red. But at $35, the fact that it even comes with selectable backlight modes is pretty good. One last thing to note on the back here, you do have adjustable feet, so you can put the keyboard up at an incline. And that's not typically something you see at a keyboard of this price point. I've even reviewed plenty of $50 to $90 keyboards that don't have adjustable heights or anything like that. So just another thing you're getting in a $35 keyboard. And then real quick, last thing we'll do is a typing test. This first test is going to be just if I were lightly gaming or just typing a report or surfing the web or something like that. All right, and then this next test, I'm gonna do the same thing, just louder. A lot of people poke at their keys and stuff like that. Some people are heavy-handed when they're gaming, so I'm just gonna be kind of a little bit louder to show how loud this keyboard could potentially get, kind of a worst-case scenario. So as you can hear, it's a pretty loud keyboard. If you're looking for something a little quieter, this is definitely not the keyboard for you, but a lot of people like that kind of thing. Some people buy their keyboards specifically to have that kind of tactile sound to them, and if that's you, this may be a way to go. And especially if you're trying to save some money, if you're on a budget and you're looking for a decent gaming keyboard under $50, definitely give this keyboard a look. Like I said, I'm actually really impressed with like the build quality for the price that you're paying. So hopefully if you guys are looking for a budget mechanical TKL keyboard, this helps you out a little bit. If you found this review helpful at all, make sure to give it a thumbs up. If you guys have any questions or comments about this keyboard or the review in general, drop them down in the comment section down below. I'll get to them as soon as I can. And if you guys want to see other content like this, product reviews, stream tutorials, game accessory reviews, anything like that, make sure to subscribe to the channel. YouTube, we'll catch you later.